There are a couple of things that run behind the business that are just incredibly implicit in people's expectations. People expect that the information that they receive is going to be accurate. So that's an element of trust. People expect that you're going to provide safe, whether that safe is in terms of the airline security or in terms of the food handling. They are expecting that you're going to have safety, you're going to have fares. People expect that you're going to do what you said you were going to do. I think the sustainability one is another one that fits behind that, and I'm glad that you brought it up because right now in the race to use AI, there are a lot of organizations that are really hammering the data centers. They need so much time and energy in order to generate these AI responses that it is ultimately going to contribute to environmental damage, to increase cost on the customer. And really, if you look at the communities where the data centers are being located, a lot of concern about corporate citizenship. And so I think that this idea of thinking about sustainability is just as true in AI as it was in the time when we were asking, why is this company sending me another piece of mail? Why are they using too much packaging in order to get a product to arrive to me? So I think that with all of this, we need to keep the same sort of guidance that we did before. Be a good steward of resources. And that stewardship of resources is your organizational time, it's your energy use, it's your water use, it's your protection of public health. Everyone has a responsibility to be a good steward.
You have mentioned journey pods to be there to break silos, right? And sustainability, culture, cross team collaboration, safety. If we blend all these together, how can a good customer journey implementation looks like within the company in the meeting room? What is the starting point and what are those key points that you think teams should cover in order to have a good journey plan in place? Okay. And what journey pods really are from your perspective, if you want to explain that a little bit too.
Yeah, I know a lot of the people who are watching this are familiar with the idea of a customer journey, but for those who aren't, the customer journey begins when a customer first learns of an organization, its programs, products, and services. And it continues all the way through all of the steps and interactions that individual has with the organization until they no longer interact with it, either because the company has ended or they no longer have an interaction with that program, product, or service. So they are now a past customer, perhaps. What's interesting about it is that if you think about the organizational model, as Nav pointed out, companies chop that up. And so they have a PR company that helps to set the or PR department that helps to set the initial learning and perception. You have a marketing department that is responsible for raising awareness of products and bringing people to the sales channel. You have a sales function that is responsible for closing the deal and making the sale. Then you have a customer success area that's responsible for
Yeah.
onboarding and getting set. Then you have your ongoing operations and delivery and your spaces and your renewal and your loyalty program. And even sometimes your attempts to come back and recapture past customers. All of those are handled by different departments, but they're all handled by the same customer. So if you think about it,
Yes.
if in one imagine the frustration you would have if you found out that every department required you to speak a different language, like literally a different language. You start off in English, and then all of a sudden it changes to Dutch, and then all of a sudden it changes to German, and all of a sudden it changes to Japanese. We all know that that would be incredibly frustrating, even for the most multilingual of customers. Well, that is what we've been doing. Each each department has been speaking its own language, its sales language, its customer success language, and it makes sense internally. So how do we reverse that? To me, the fundamental two things that we need to do: increase our capacity to understand and perceive the customer's side of the equation. So when you look at a website, you look at a marketing material, you look at a product, stop trying to ask, what is the best thing the company can do? And start trying to ask, how are customers going to feel about this? Or how are they going to experience this? Or does this answer the questions that they need? Take that one step further and add into that journey map how they actually will feel and how important that touch point is. Because we can think about some different elements here. Not every interaction that a customer has with a company is equally important. Sometimes when you're going to check out, you do want to talk to somebody who's knowledgeable and can help you understand how to use the product. Other times you're just looking to check out and have that transaction process quickly and accurately. You don't want to interact with somebody in a store or even an online bot. The second side of that equation, when I'm talking about moving from organization and department to department, is really for each department team to start asking, does this work for us as a department? And to start asking, does this work for the customer? Does this work for our employee team? And does this work for the organization's bottom line? The key is to move away from trying to maximize those 3 points of the triangle. So don't try to make something just be a customer solution or just be an employee solution or just be a shareholder solution, and try to get into the middle of that triangle and find a solution that is balanced and works acceptably for all 3.